Hi, second grade, it's Mrs. Parsons. I hope you had fun starting our mosaic project last week. This week, I'm going to show you the next steps to that project. We're not going to be quite finished with it yet, but we are going to get the flower part of things finished. So last week, we drew the stems and we drew the flowers. This week, we're actually going to be adding some color to it. So grab your started project, which should look something like this right now. Grab that and grab a box of crayons, and I'll show you what we're going to do with it this week. You're also going to need a pencil. So a pencil, a box of crayons, and your started project, and we'll get started. Second grade, if you remember, last week we drew the rectangle for the vase, we drew the lines for the stems and went over them with our green crayons, and also drew our flowers. I showed you how to draw daisies, but also I had said if you wanted to draw a different kind of flower that you know how to draw, that was fine too. What we're going to do now is actually take a pencil and we want to add some leaves to the stems of our flower. So right now we just have the stems. With your pencil, what you want to do on each stem is draw, it's almost, again, a teardrop shape, except the bigger rounded edge of the teardrop is going to be against the stem. I'm just going to draw one on each stem. But if you'd like, on the really long stems, you could actually draw two, or maybe more, depending on where your stems are next to each other, how much space you have. It's really up to you. But go ahead and add at least one leaf to each stem of the flowers. And the next part is just to start coloring. So for the leaves, you want to try and use the same crayons that you used to draw the stem. So color the light green with the, whoops, that's wrong, light green. Color the light green with the light green, making sure that you stay inside the lines. Take your time. And then you're also going to color the darker green ones with a darker green. Just to color them in. So finish coloring those, whoops, stems in, making sure again that you stay inside the lines, take your time, really do your best work. Once you have the stems and the leaves colored in, the next part is to actually start coloring the flowers. It's really up to you what kind of colors you want to use for your flowers. If you want to make them all different colors, if you want to kind of stick to a theme. You can see with mine, I stuck to a little bit of a theme. I used a lot of pinks, purples, violet, pink, things like that, indigo. I tried to stick with that kind of theme, but if you want to make one flower, make them all different colors, that's fine too. So you're going to take whatever colors you pick and just start to color your flowers in. Now you notice I'm not coloring in the circle of the flower. We already colored that last time with either orange or yellow. I'm just carefully tracing around each petal. And then coloring the petal in. So I trace it with whatever color I'm coloring the petals in with, and then color the petals themselves in. I'm gonna just trace around the circle in the middle, just to kind of clean those edges up from the petals, and it also just makes that center pop a little bit more. Same thing with the next color. So we're just taking our time coloring in each of the petals. and then tracing around the circle in the center. Second grade, when you're done coloring all your flowers in, you should have something that looks a little bit like this. The only part that should not have any color in it is this rectangle that we made for our vase. And as you can see on the example that I showed you last time, we're going to be filling that in with these little mosaic pieces, and that's going to be what we work on next week. That's going to take us a little bit of time to measure all the pieces and cut them and glue them on. So that's going to be what we work on next week. But this week, just focus on adding that color up top to our flowers and you'll be all set. Have a great time with this. I will see you next week. Have a great week. See you real soon, second grade. Bye.